What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a while since my last proper video, but hey, better late than never, right? Besides, I was busy playing hit game Fire Emblem Engage. In fact, I actually just beat the game and man, it sure was an experience. Truth be told, I didn't really know what to expect going in. Out of the more recent Fire Emblem games, aka Awakening to Engage, this and Echoes were the ones I knew and heard about the least. When I decided that this was the game I'd play after Awakening, I got word from my friends that the game was pretty damn good, but the story was kinda bad. And I'm not gonna lie, they were kinda right. Engage was fun, like really fun. Definitely on par with Awakening in terms of enjoyment, maybe even more depending on the day. There's so much about Engage that made my time with it so memorable. I could argue that since I'm a bit better acquainted with how Fire Emblem plays, the gameplay would naturally start to feel more fun. Although that would kinda undersell just how good Engage felt to play. I think the maps played a really big part in that feeling. They were great, and still pretty challenging too. Unlike with Awakening, it wasn't very often that a map felt too easy. Outside of the very early game, it felt like I had to be locked in for majority of the battles, especially during the skirmishes. For some reason, they felt 3 times harder than the main chapter fights, and genuinely I couldn't tell you why. Even the paralogs never gave me that much trouble. Some of them were just kinda long, except for Lace Map. I can't even remember how many times I had to reset there. Regardless, I still had a ton of fun. But it wasn't just the peak map design that made this game such a blast to play. Cause you know what else this game has? The emblem rings. I think they're pretty cool. In my eyes, they kinda feel like a new version of Pair Up from Awakening, just not as overpowered, which is a good thing. The stat increases and skills they give are really useful. The fact that any character can use any emblem, on top of characters being able to change into damn near any class, really gives you the freedom to just do whatever you want. And even if I didn't exactly do anything crazy during my first playthrough, some characters still ended up being insane. I'm telling you, my heavy hitters were something special, genuinely some of the greatest to ever do it. That eventual second playthrough on Lunatic is gonna go crazy, I just know it. And outside of just their gameplay uses, I also like the emblem rings because they introduced me to new characters. I mean, I had no clue who the fuck Leif or Erica were supposed to be before this, but now that I've beaten Engage, I really want to play their games too, just because I thought they looked cool. And speaking of people I thought were cool, this game has a really good cast, man. It honestly kinda surprised me. For some reason, I thought I wouldn't end up liking most of the characters in Engage, but man was I wrong. Granted, there were some characters I just didn't really care about, or some that I straight up hated, but for the most part, everyone was easily likable. The support conversations really added to that. It's hard to say if I like the ones in Engage more than Awakening, but they're pretty great regardless. I really wasn't expecting them to be that enjoyable to sit through. It honestly feels like the support conversations were better written than the main story. Not to mention, along with just great characters, mechanics that are enjoyable to mess around with, and really fun maps, the music for Engage is genuinely godlike. I'm telling you, this is a generational OST right here. There's almost too many bangers in this game. I don't think there was a single moment throughout the game where I wasn't fucking with the music. I cannot tell you how geeked I was hearing the music during Lucina's paralogue. Everything about Engage felt like it just got better as the game progressed. The map slowly got tougher and more interesting. I started meeting more characters, some of which went on to enter GOAT status. And of course, the music started off peak and didn't fall off once. But there is one issue with Engage, something that didn't seem too great at the beginning and never really improved over the course of the game. And that issue is the story. Like I said at the beginning of the video, before I started Engage, I was told that the game was pretty good, but the story was just kind of bad. But more of a so bad it's funny kind of thing, which didn't really deter me from wanting to play the game. As long as the gameplay is fun, a pretty average story wouldn't really bother me. But you see, that's the problem. The story isn't average, and most of it wasn't very funny. It was bad. Like, really bad. I don't think I've ever been so disinterested in a game's story and world before. Seeing the plot of Engage play out genuinely felt like I was just going through the motions. There were probably only 2 times during this entire game where I was genuinely locked in for the story. One being when the emblem rings got stolen and everyone had to flee through the forest. And it wasn't even because that part of the story was good. I was just hyped because Lucina showed up. The other moment was right at the end of the game, because I'll be honest, that shot of Alear with all the emblems kinda had major aura. But aside from that, I genuinely did not care what was going on during this game. Fighting for my life during a battle only for my reward to be sitting through this dog shit story did not feel good. I really figured that the fun I had would vastly outweigh how I felt about Engage's plot, and for a while it did, but the story never got any better. And I started caring about it less and less as the game continued. I mean, it was okay at the start, but a bit over halfway through the game, I kinda just tapped out. It got to the point where I genuinely started feeling burnt out, and I couldn't play more than like 2 chapters every few days, which kinda sucked because I really enjoyed playing the game. The story genuinely just fucked up the experience that badly for me. At least there's only one bad aspect to an otherwise amazing game. Even with how much I did not fuck with the story, I do think everything else the game did well still outweighs the bad, at least to a certain degree. I can't sit here and say I didn't enjoy the game for the most part. I can see why this game ended up being divisive or whatever, but I can't bring myself to straight up hate it. Watching those end credits kinda had me feeling some type of way. I had some really fun moments with Engage, so as much as I wanted the game to end at times, I can say for certain that I don't regret any of my time playing it. And besides, one bad story isn't gonna stop me from playing more Fire Emblem, although I'm probably gonna take a bit of a longer break between this and whatever game I end up playing next, just so I don't get really burnt out or anything. But with 2 games finished now, I'm starting to see why this series has attracted so many avid fans. If all the games end up being as fun as what I've played, I might start calling myself a Fire Emblem fan before I know it. Anyway, that's all for me. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to leave a like and subscribe. Alright, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.